The warm sun peeked over the horizon, casting a golden glow across the sandy shores of Funafuti. Gentle ocean breezes rustled the leaves of the tall palm trees that lined the beach. 7-year-old Moana stretched her arms wide and took a deep breath, inhaling the salty air. Her medium brown skin glowed in the early morning light, and her bright floral dress fluttered in the breeze. Moana's long, dark hair was tied back in a neat braid, adorned with a small white flower tucked behind her ear. Her big brown eyes sparkled with excitement as she gazed out at the crystal-clear waters surrounding the atoll. She wiggled her toes in the soft sand, feeling its warmth beneath her feet. Today was a special day. She was going to help her father gather coconuts for their family and community. "Moana, are you ready to go?" called her father, Tassi, from their small thatched roof hut. Tassi was a tall, muscular man with kind eyes and a warm smile. He wore a colorful lava wrapped around his waist and a woven palm frond hat to protect him from the sun. "Coming, Papa," Moana replied, her voice filled with enthusiasm. As Moana approached her father, she noticed he was carrying 2 large baskets made from woven coconut leaves. "Here, little one," Tassi said, handing her the smaller of the 2 baskets. "This is for you to collect the coconuts we find." Moana beamed with pride, feeling grown up and important. She carefully placed the strap of the basket over her shoulder, just like her father did. Together, they set off down the beach, their feet leaving small imprints in the damp sand. The waves lapped gently at the shore, creating a soothing rhythm. Seabirds soared overhead, their cries echoing across the atoll. Moana's eyes darted from tree to tree, searching for the round, brown fruits hanging high above them. "Papa, how do we know which coconuts are ready to pick?" Moana asked, her curiosity piqued. Tassi smiled down at his daughter, pleased by her interest. "That's a great question, Moana," he replied. "We look for coconuts that are brown and feel heavy when you shake them. Those are the ones that are ripe and full of sweet water inside." As they walked, Tassi pointed out different types of plants and animals they encountered. He showed Moana the delicate seashells scattered along the shore and explained how some creatures used them as homes. Moana listened intently, her eyes wide with wonder at the world around her. She felt a deep connection to the island and all its inhabitants. Soon, they reached a grove of tall coconut palms. The trees swayed gently in the breeze, their fronds rustling softly. Tassi set down his basket and looked up at the clusters of coconuts high above them. "Now, Moana," he said, "I'm going to climb up and drop the ripe coconuts down to you. Your job is to catch them and put them in our baskets. Can you do that?" Moana nodded eagerly, her face set with determination. "I can do it, Papa," she exclaimed. Tassi grinned and began to scale the first palm tree with practiced ease. Moana watched in awe as her father climbed higher and higher, his strong arms and legs moving smoothly up the trunk. When he reached the top, he called down, "Ready, Moana? Here comes the first one." With a gentle toss, Tassi sent a brown coconut sailing through the air. Moana's heart raced as she positioned herself beneath it, arms outstretched. The coconut landed safely in her waiting hands with a satisfying thud. "I caught it, Papa," she shouted triumphantly, carefully placing it in her basket. Tassi cheered from above, his voice full of pride. As they continued their work, Moana's basket slowly filled with coconuts of various sizes. The sun climbed higher in the sky, and beads of sweat formed on her forehead. Despite the heat, Moana felt a sense of accomplishment with each coconut she caught. She and her father worked as a team, calling out encouragement to each other. During a short break, Tassi and Moana sat in the shade of a palm tree to rest. Tassi took out a small knife and skillfully opened one of the coconuts they had gathered. He offered Moana the first sip of the cool, refreshing coconut water inside. "This is our reward for our hard work," he said with a wink. Moana savored the sweet liquid, feeling grateful for the bounty their island provided. As they rested, Tasi began to tell Moana about the importance of taking care of their island home. You see, Moana, he explained, we must always be mindful of how much we take from the land and sea. We only gather what we need, and we make sure to plant new trees to replace the old ones. Moana listened intently, understanding the wisdom in her father's words. But Papa, Moana asked, her brow furrowed in thought, why can't we just take all the coconuts we want? There are so many. Tasi smiled patiently at his daughter's question. If we took all the coconuts, there wouldn't be any left to grow into new trees, he explained. And without new trees, we wouldn't have coconuts for the future. We must think not just of today, but of tomorrow as well. Moana nodded, her young mind grasping the concept of sustainability. She looked around at the lush greenery surrounding them and felt a surge of love for her island home. I want to help take care of our island, Papa, she declared solemnly. Tasi's eyes shone with pride as he hugged his daughter. That's my girl, he said softly. As the day wore on, Moana and Tasi continued their coconut gathering. They moved from tree to tree, working together in harmony. Moana's arms grew tired, but her spirit remained strong. She knew that their hard work would benefit not just their family, but their entire community. The thought filled her with a sense of purpose and belonging. As the sun began to dip towards the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and pink, Tasi declared their work done for the day. They stood back and admired their full baskets of coconuts. Look at all we've accomplished together, Moana, Tasi said, his voice filled with pride. Moana beamed, her chest swelling with a sense of achievement. On their way back to the village, Tasi and Moana stopped to plant some of the coconuts they had gathered. Moana watched carefully as her father dug small holes in the sand and gently placed the coconuts inside. This is how we ensure that there will always be coconuts for future generations, Tasi explained. Moana helped pat the sand down over the planted coconuts, imagining the tall palms that would one day grow from them. As they neared their home, they could hear the sounds of laughter and music drifting from the village center. The community was gathering for their weekly feast, and the aroma of roasting fish and tropical fruits filled the air. Moana's stomach growled in anticipation, reminding her of how hungry their day's work had made her. When they arrived at the village, Moana and Tasi were greeted with cheers and applause. The other villagers admired their bountiful harvest of coconuts. Moana felt a warm glow of pride as she helped distribute the coconuts among the families. She understood now that their work was not just for themselves, but for everyone in their tight-knit community. As the night fell and the stars began to twinkle in the clear sky above, Moana sat with her family around the communal fire. The sound of ukuleles and gentle voices singing traditional songs filled the air. Moana leaned against her father, feeling tired but deeply content. She had learned so much today, about hard work, sustainability, and the importance of community. As she drifted off to sleep, lulled by the music and the warmth of the fire, Moana dreamed of the day when she would teach her own children the valuable lessons she had learned on the shores of their beautiful island home.